perfect music for our guest today. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of the Star Interview, straight from my blog that I like to call The Star Treatment, where once again we go behind the scenes in the world of SPHL hockey, only this time we're going to dive headfirst into the Louisiana Ice Gators and their head coach, who just so happens to be the former head coach of the Mississippi RiverKings. I'm talking about Coach Kevin Killer Kaminski. That's right, I'm your host, a professional sports entertainer, formerly with World Wrestling Entertainment's developmental system of Florida Championship Wrestling. I'm a tweeter-er, I'm a blogger, I'm a Facebooker, and now I'm a podcaster. And of course, I'm the MC and corporate partnership manager for the Mississippi RiverKings. Ladies and gentlemen, I am Dustin Starr. Thank you for joining me, and we have a lot to talk about, and I couldn't be happier to have Coach Kevin Killer Kaminski on the show today. Obviously, he's not only a very popular coach in Mississippi, but he's a very popular player as well. I mean, come on. Who wouldn't like a player that wasn't afraid of anyone and to get in anybody's face at any given time, no matter how big or how tough they were? He was drafted by the Minnesota North Stars in the 1987 NHL entry draft. He went on to play 4 seasons with the Washington Capitals, and that's where he earned the nickname of Killer. He's hard-nosed, he's gritty, and it not only shows when he's playing hockey, but it shows when he is coaching hockey as well. He spent 2 full seasons with the Mississippi RiverKings in the CHL before moving on in December of 2010. He was picked up by the Louisiana Ice Gators in the SPHL. It didn't take them long, and here we are today. Folks, before we get to the interview with Coach Kaminski, I'd like to mention that Killer is not only a coach for the Ice Gators, but he's a coach for the next generation of hockey players as well. He's conducting his Kevin Killer Kaminski Professional Hockey Academy from July 25th to the 29th. Check it out. Get more information. Go to icegators.com. But right now, folks, it's time. Here's my interview with the killer himself. You're not going to be disappointed. It's Coach Kevin Killer Kaminski on the Star Interview. All right, folks. Dustin Starr here with Kevin Killer Kaminski, former head coach of the Mississippi RiverKings and current head coach of the Louisiana Ice Gators. Coach, how you doing?
I'm doing good, Dustin. How are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. There was quite a bit of a response on Facebook and Twitter when I announced that I would be conducting a little sit-down conversation with you, Coach, and there was a lot of interest here in Mississippi.
Well, I would assume there probably would be. I mean, it was a great 2.5 years there. Obviously did a lot in the community and did a lot for the people in hockey, trying to teach all the kids. And, it was a great time. Unfortunately, very interested why what happened, but, things happen, and, fortunate to move along here to a great organization and with the Ice Gators.
Yeah, and I'm glad that you touched base on the community. One of my jobs here at the RiverKings organization, other than just emceeing the games, is I'm the corporate partnership manager, and a lot of the people in the community and business owners that I go and talk to and meet, they all ask about you. Lonnie Tant down at the Pizza Italia, he was asking about you just the other day. So, I mean, you left quite a mark here in the community. Everybody loved you here.
Well, I mean, I don't think you're, I don't want to, I'm a pretty humble person, and I don't want to pat myself on the back, but I think I go the extra mile with the sponsorship people, with the season ticket holders, with the booster club, and not just what I was asked to do, but I did a lot of stuff on my own,
Sure.
Including doing the clinics, going to schools, going to different functions. That's just the way I would learn my roots and values from.
Sure.
To help other people whenever I could, and I enjoy that very much. I know wins and losses are a part of the game, but there's more than just than that, than just wearing the jersey as a player and coaching. I mean, it's about the community. It's about giving back. The game doesn't owe us anything, but the people that come to see us and come to watch us and pay good money as a player or as a coach. It's our job to give back to the community and especially the kids as much as possible. They're the future.
Well, we definitely appreciated your time here in Mississippi, and it didn't take you long to get picked up by the Louisiana Ice Gators. You're in the SPHL now, and the RiverKings, they just announced just several weeks back that they would be joining the SPHL. So tell me about the Southern Professional Hockey League in comparison to the Central Hockey League.
Well, I wasn't sure what to expect when I first came here. And the hockey here was a lot better than what I've heard or what I thought it was going to be. It's a very, very competitive league. And I tell you what, and it's going to get better because with the teams in the CHL that have folded, and there's going to be more players out there, and the depth is going to get better. It's a very, it's a very talented league. It's like anywhere. You got to have that right chemistry in hockey. You got to have your skill. You got goal scorers, playmakers. You got to have your third line grinders with grease and grit. You got to have your toughness who can play, who can chip in now and then, score goals, or a little bit on the penalty kill or the power play. I mean, the game has changed in that aspect, but no, it's a very good league, and the parity is it's getting better and better throughout all of hockey. With especially in minor sports or in minor league hockey.
Well, Coach, is one of the questions that's been asked over and over again, and we just don't know. And since you obviously coached in the CHL and the SPHL, is there a big difference in the gameplay, or the style, or the grit? I hear that it's a little rougher league. Is there any truth in that?
Well, I think the CHL might be a little bit more positional. You got your older players, the veterans,
Okay.
that stuff. As down here, you can only have 3 veterans, and if you can fit them under all the games at 1,100, so you might only have 2. You might only have 1 veteran. So it's a much younger league. So I think there's a lot more energy in our league. Guys are they're going 100 miles an hour, and then you try and you want that, but you want to have that smart energy where you're playing within your systems as well, and everyone is on that same page. But that's kind of the only thing that's different. I mean, it's up to the coach to go get
Sure.
find that right chemistry. The way I'm a different coach than every other coach. As for myself, I like my Dustin, I like a tough, hard-nosed, hard-working, relentless, greasy style of play. And,
Absolutely.
That's what the fans love down here. That's what I was told from the first time the Ice Gators contacted me. And when I first got here, I mean the team was small, wasn't very skilled, all that stuff, and I made 11 changes to bring some character guys in here that love to hit, toughness when we needed it, to bring that hockey back here, and the fans really enjoyed it. There was over towards the end of the year, we were getting over 3,000 a game, and I tell you what, it was as loud as ever, and so I think it was a good building process to get the fans back to what it once was here at when they used to sell out 12,000 a game. So I mean it was a good stepping stone, and obviously season tickets are up here, sponsorships are way up, so I think things are looking good now. Just again, building to put a good product on the ice as well.
Now, obviously, you earned the nickname Killer, hard-nosed, gritty, and it comes out in your coaching as well. So let's talk a little bit about rivalries. I know there's only 9 teams in the league, and one of those teams now is your former team, the Mississippi RiverKings. So what do you see as far as rivalries? And I think we have a couple of instant ones right off the bat, don't we?
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, I mean, for myself, you have your little bit bigger rivalries. I mean, we're with the Mississippi Surge. We're 5 hours away, or sorry, 3 hours away. Pensacola's 5 hours away. I think that with those two teams, the rivalry was big. But I always tell my players that you can't. You can't just have that big rivalry with a certain team. You've got to make that rivalry with every team, and that way you're mentally focused. You're physically prepared to go to war day in and day out. So I know when I played, I mean, I hated every other team. I hated every other player. There was no friends on the other team. I did whatever it took to win.
I hear you.
And that's the kind of the mental attitude that you want to install in your team. And hey, if you want to go for a pop after the game with a buddy, but you might have to fight him that night, well then that's fine. I've known a lot of guys that used to do that. It's part of the game. You're there for whatever 2.5 hours to do your job, and you better do it. So.
Right.
Otherwise, there's someone else waiting in line to take your job.
Now, this could be a loaded question, so I got to ask, though. When you return to the DeSoto Civic Center in South Haven for the first time back to face off against the RiverKings, what do you think it's going to feel like?
Well, I'm going to have mixed feelings. Like I said, it was I enjoyed my time there. I still keep in contact with a lot of my friends, a lot of the players. It's going to be, like I said, I was sad to leave. I was surprised. I was surprised what happened. It was, I said, I was involved in community. I went over and beyond what I was supposed to do. I got 2 really good years. Was fortunate to win Coach of the Year. Unfortunately, Colorado stopped us in our tracks. It was a tough. It was a tough way to go, especially when you thought you were doing your job. I think at the time 500 and then third place at the time. It was a shock. But hey, I'm going to go about it. Just another game. I'm going about it professional. My job is to win that game. It's going to be great to see some old friends and faces. Catch up with everybody, and so I mean, yeah, I'm excited, but yet as always, I'm excited to go into any building and nervous to go into any building. It's just going to be, I guess when I was in Youngstown, I was on the other bench already for those 2 years, so I know my spot. Back on the visitor side, so it'll be fun to get back to Mississippi and see some old friends as well.
We look forward to seeing you as well. And recently, you just reunited with former assistant team captain Louis DeMont. He took over as the general manager there, and I'm sure you had a lot to do with that.
Well, Louis is just a super guy who brings professionalism both on and off the ice. I was so ecstatic that the owner and him could reach an agreement to be the GM. He's a guy that has class and has integrity. his work ethic is unbelievable. What he's done so far since he's come here is amazing. He played 3 years here. He knows a lot of people, and he's not sitting on his hands and doing nothing. He's going out getting sponsorships, getting season tickets. He's doing what a GM is supposed to do. He's mingling with people. He's always interacting with clients. And then, like I said, for myself, he's a family man. So I mean, we've got some good ideas for throughout the year with the team to do some functions. And then plus, he knows how I run my ship, and we're on the same page with everything. And I know about 3 weeks ago, when he was down, we went and played golf at the owner's club, and I mean, he knew everybody that was at the golf course. It was just absolutely amazing, shaking hands with everybody, and and those are the people you need to, because there are some big wigs there that he's got the sponsorships signed and sealed, and now he's working on other people that he knows. So it couldn't be a better fit, better timing for Louis. He had a great 17-year career.
Yeah.
Just the longevity of that. Hey, I'm jealous. I only played 11 years.
Right.
But no, Louis a class act. He brings so much to the table. And I'm glad to have him back on my side, and said things couldn't have worked out better, and because I think we work really well together.
Well, I tell you, Louis, he's one of my favorite guys. Like you said, super nice guy. I'm glad that you guys are doing good things out there in Louisiana, and I know that you played several years. Hockey fans want to know who the toughest guy you ever played against. If you can pick one out.
Well, you know what, hockey players are all pretty tough, but there's the one game when we're heading into Chicago, and I told my roommate, Ole, the goalie, calls it, and I said, "Tonight's the night." And he goes, "Well, what do you mean tonight's the night?" I said, "I'm fighting Probert." And he says, "No, you're not." I said, "Yeah, I am." Because I knew Probert was kind of on his way out, towards the end of his career, and I admired him so much. I think he's the toughest guy ever. He's a legend in my mind, and I had to fight him once because who knows if he was going to play again next year, and that was our last game against Chicago. So we went at him. I mean, I got to say I fought the legend. He's after signed a great 8x10 for me, and that's what fighters do. I mean, they're very soft-hearted people that will give their shirt off their back for anybody. So I mean, yeah, Probert by far was the toughest I've ever fought.
That's an interesting story, that you actually went into the game knowing that you were going to make that challenge.
Yes, I was. I mean, you can ask Ole the goalie, quote for quote, is what I did and what I said. So it was just, like I said, I prepare myself as a game mentally, what I'm going to do in different situations, look for that big hit, what I'm going to do with the puck when I have it, what I'm going to do if, obviously go over the lineup, but what I'm going to, if I do have a fight against this guy, what am I going to do? I mean, my philosophy, I prepared well advanced before every game, depending, if I ever got in that situation, and I just I had to do it that time, knowing that I was going to go in and fight one of the toughest there was to play the game.
That's awesome. Now, I know that you have a lot of big things going on down there in Louisiana. I appreciate you for taking time out of your schedule to talk with me. But on an exit note, I know you have the Kevin Killer Kaminski Professional Hockey Academy coming up. July 25th through the 29th. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, it's again, it's about all getting back involved in the community here. I ran a hockey school back in Portland, Maine, for 14 years. It's going to be kind of the same process. Back in Maine, I used to get 80 plus kids for that week, and I'm not sure, where I'm at now. I think we're right around 15, so we're hoping, got some mail in here today with looks like some more sign-ups. We're hoping, again, it's about growing, the process in Lafayette. Like I said, I skate Tuesday and Thursday, and then I'm in a league on Sunday. And, you're playing against kids on Tuesdays, 30 to 30 and over. And, again, it's just about getting out, introducing yourself to all the kids, all the older fellas, and enjoying your time with the camp. It's kids from 4 years old to 17, and it's about teaching them the fundamentals of the game: skating, stick handling, shooting, passing, work ethic, team concepts, all that stuff. So. It's the youth program here is really growing. Craig Fontenot, who runs it, does an unbelievable job. And like I said, we have the junior ice skaters, and we're trying to get back in touch with the LAHA, Louisiana Amateur Hockey Association, to get them to give them the opportunity to get more ice time, to learn the game. And also, to work with each other with the LAHA and with the ice skaters as well.
Well, tell us how to sign up. Do we go to icegators.com?
You can go to icegators.com. Yes, the Killer Hockey is up in the right-hand corner. If you want to sign up, like I said, it's a great camp. You get 2 hours and 15 minutes of ice every day. You get off ice, for 2 hours a day. And, we have a lot of fun. You learn the fundamentals, and we make sure we work them hard so when the mom or dad picks them up at the end of the day, all they got to do is feed them supper, and they're off to bed, and they can enjoy a quiet night by themselves.
Well, Coach, I appreciate it so much for talking to me. I will send you a link. You can share it with all the Louisiana Ice Gators fans. Ladies and gentlemen, that's Kevin Killer Kaminski. And there you have it, folks. That is the Star interview with Kevin Killer Kaminski, former head coach of the Mississippi RiverKings and current head coach of the Louisiana Ice Gators. What a class act. Very interesting stories. I cannot wait to see Louis DeMont and Kevin Kaminski back here at the DeSoto Civic Center for the big rivalry game, Louisiana Ice Gators versus the Mississippi RiverKings. It will be announced when that game is going to take place. Schedule is being released very, very soon, folks. Be sure to follow me on Twitter at Dustin Starr with 2 R's. Search for me on Facebook, and also there is a brand new blog, The Star Treatment, dustinstar.wordpress.com. Be sure to post your comments. I want to hear from you. And until next time, thank you for listening to The Star Interview with Dustin Starr.